And the difference between our side and theirs is that we don't hate the country. Scott Jennings was on a podcast this week, the PBD podcast. I don't think he's with the guy that does it. Is that Patrick Bet-David, right? He wasn't there, but I guess maybe it's somebody who co-hosts or guest hosts for him. But Scott made an appearance yesterday and said something that was so profound that I had to share this with you. And of course, we're thrilled to welcome CNN's own Scott Jennings as one of our newest network team members. Scott heard on many of the same stations we're heard on around the country. He's doing a tremendous job. Listen to what Scott said about Democrats and their true feelings about America.
His opposition, the reflexive nature of his opposition to hate and try to delegitimize him on everything he does, I think is terrible for Americans. I mean, they're rooting. I mean, you wear that pin? They're rooting against America.
Yeah.
On the tariffs, all April, they were hoping it would fail.
Imagine that.
They're hoping it would fail.
America.
On Iran, when we bombed the missile sites. What's the first thing that happened? We got to impeach him.
Yeah,
oh, he didn't do that much damage.
Yeah.
The immediate delegitimization of this guy. Every time he does something, they root for America's failure. So does he everything he does, do I like? No politician I'm 100% all the time. But I'll tell you this, I like it that he roots for America. Mm-hmm. And I hate it that they root against America just because he did it.
Bingo.
And I think that's why a lot of people are fine with it.
Gosh, what common sense, what wisdom, how right he is. They cheer against America. And they're literally cheering for evil. You know by now, and Joey Hudson filling in for me yesterday, and always thanks to Joey for guest hosting as I was traveling back from Seattle after our great visit Monday with our friends at Relief Factor. Joey talked about the shooting in New York City. One of the victims, besides an NYPD officer, was the CEO, a senior executive at Blackstone. She'd been there since 2014. Wesley LePatner was beloved, a young wife, a young mother, a sister, a neighbor, and this monster shows up with some beef about the NFL from his high school football days. I mean, the guy was obviously mentally ill, goes strolling in with a long gun, and slaughters 4 innocent people. Now, this may not surprise you. It should. It ought to shock you. It ought to sicken you. But this beautiful young woman, who happened to be a senior executive at Blackstone, her murder was celebrated just like they celebrated the murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Her murder was literally celebrated by people on the left. Let's take a little sampling from TikTok.
They're the reason why there's a housing crisis. So, hey, you know what? Let's get more against those Blackstone people. Let's take them out.
If you're having a bad day, I just wanted to hop on to let you know that the CEO of Blackstone, a private equity real estate firm, was one of the victims in the recent shooting.
It's about damn time.
There's a lady with a glass of wine with the Chiron.
And I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
Blackstone CEO down, says the Chiron with the girl dancing.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50.
Let's go. It's CEO season again. Let's hope it lasts till December like it did last year.
Oh my God, guys, another CEO was shot. Another one. We got another one. Is it Christmas?
Is it Christmas? The excited young lefty wants to know. Because this young mother and this young wife was murdered, and she was her crime deserved her execution. She was the CEO of a private equity firm. Gunned down. There are people, I'm afraid many people, who are so opposed to capitalism, so opposed to the healthcare industry that they actually mock, joke, and laugh at the murder of a beloved woman like Wesley LePotner. I'm sure they're ecstatic over the murder of the off-duty NYPD officer who was working security. If they're happy about Wesley LePotner's death, I'm sure they're euphoric about the death of the NYPD officer. Look, it's hard to disagree with the conclusion that the left is an evil, violent death cult. This is what leftists do best. They celebrate violence. They celebrate death. This is where we are. Now, you go ahead and vote for Mamdani. Because speaking of Zohran Mamdani, who, according to the polls, is going to become New York's next mayor. Before this awful thing happened, somebody posted on social media a comment that said, I just saw an NYPD officer crying in his car. You know what Zohran Mamdani's response was? And I confirmed it. This was from his own Twitter account. Nature is healing. Mamdani loathes police. He hates cops. And police officers are the only thing that stands between the monsters who would commit horrible acts of violence and their victims. And Mamdani would happily remove that protection. The guy's a creep. The guy's a foaming at the mouth, rabid socialist kook. And if New Yorkers are stupid enough to elect him, they're going to deserve everything. And I do mean everything they get. That's where I am right now. My heart breaks for the thousands of NYPD officers who are terrified at the prospect of this rabid, radical lunatic being elected mayor. Businesses are terrified. Citizens are terrified. Look, the voters can decide. And if they actually elect the guy, they're going to deserve it all. They will deserve it all. 800-655-MIKE. We're in the Relief Factor studios for a busy Wednesday. I hope you join me. Give me your reaction to all of it. Also, I got to play for you Spartacus. Spartacus was on full display yesterday. He's fired up because one of Trump's appointees got confirmed to be a judge. Cory Booker from New Jersey, Senator Cory Booker is none too happy. That and a whole lot more coming up here on the Mike Gallagher Show. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.